What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Singers, Nerds, and Homies. I'm not going to say I'm your host because that would be wrong because there's only two of us today, but it's me and Jesstina. We're going to call this the Bestie Special. It's just going to be us, having a few laughs. If only we could have a few drinks, that'd be fun. I know you can't drink, but I'll drink for the both of us.
I'm on pre-diabetes medication, guys, and I can't have alcohol. So.
She can have the mocktails. It'll look like she's drinking the real thing, but it's okay.
I'll pop 2 Benadryls. It's fine.
It's fine. No, everything's fine.
No,
it's fine.
I did. Okay, what? When I was drinking, Jose and I went to BJ's to try like their Halloween Pizookie and their like Halloween drink.
Yeah.
We didn't ask what was in it. There's Malibu in it. I took a fat sip.
And you're like...
Popped 2 Benadryls the whole time. I was like...
You're like, the coconut's totally not going to affect me.
Like, but this Benadryl will.
Okay, so I'm sure there are people out there that want to know, how did we meet? You want to elaborate on that?
Okay. You said, though, we met before we actually met. Which I didn't realize.
So long story short, before we actually met, introduced each other, or got to know each other, we took a class together and didn't necessarily interact, but we were actively participating in the same stuff together without realizing it until it was like, oh my god, you took that class? Oh wait, I took that class too. At the same time, how did we not actually meet?
I was always 5 minutes late.
You were always that one. I remember every day. After I think
in the morning, I still had really bad insomnia. So when I had to get up to go work out, I was like, oh god, it's 10 o'clock.
I remember after the third class, I was like, why doesn't this girl just get here sooner? The class always starts at this time. I feel bad that she misses part of the stretching, because it's the first 10 minutes I think is stretching, and then we start actually working out.
I think the second time I took it, that's when I started actually going early. But yeah,
I tried to take it a second time too, but then that was when the lockdown happened, and then it was just and I still have all the equipment that was required to take the class, the giant, the jumbo ball, and then the stretch bands.
I didn't know
have
it
all
was
that
a
stuff.
Requirement.
I think I don't.
Cause she had stuff.
She had stuff. Did you take it during COVID?
No. I took it before COVID.
Okay, because I took her first class.
Yeah.
And then when I went to register for the second class, it was right when the lockdown happened, right? Or no? So you probably had you probably had the luxury of taking the class right before the lockdown happened. Yeah. I think I took a gap before I took it, so that's why ours were different. But that first class we took together,
because I took her almost 4 times, but I think the 4th time she stopped the class.
I know, and when I wanted to do the class again, I was like,
it was a good class.
It was, and the fact that she was a military fitness instructor, I'm like, I'm gonna treat this like boot camp. But what was really nice too was that she was very encouraging. She wasn't rigid on you. She wasn't hard on you. She was very encouraging. She's like, you can do it. Because when I thought I couldn't do it or it was too hard, she's like, no, you got this, power through. And so I started getting in that mindset of 3, 2, 1, go, you got this, come on, you're almost done. So when I do a lot of things that I feel are overwhelming or too much for me, I get in that mindset of you're almost there, you're halfway there, you're almost done. You're gonna finish it within the next couple minutes, and then boom. But we officially met, I believe, during the 2021 FrightFest, right?
Yes.
With our professor, yes.
That came before Druid, right?
Yes. That was the same year as Druid, but FrightFest came right before, which happened to be the same year as my accident.
Which I didn't know about because we weren't close yet. Mm-hmm. But everybody was like, "Oh, Reggie," I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know who this is, though.
Yeah. It was like we had just started rehearsals for our little FrightFest thing, our one acts. And then I got into my accident. And then I was like, okay, like, I need to take a break. Like, I had a month off from work. Like, I couldn't even physically come to school. And then our professor was pressuring me. Like, he literally texted me and tried calling me while I'm in the hospital, in the ICU. And he was literally like, can you at least, like, hop on a Zoom? And I was like, no. Like, I'm literally laying here, like, bleeding out. The worst part of it, though, is that I took the brunt of the injuries. And my brother, who was in the accident with me, he was protected by a bunch of stuff. So he had little to no injuries, but he kept, like, complaining and stuff. So him vocalizing his injuries made it seem like he might have a lot of internal damage. And so they were focusing more on him than on me, because I was like, oh, like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm good. Like, I can manage. Like, my pain tolerance is like, but so there was that. And then when I came back, I told our professor, I was like, hey, like, I do not want to be in the show because I need to heal with my injuries, but I'm willing to be, like, an acting coach, and help, like, assistant direct. So I did that. And then I know I helped with your one act a couple of times, because your one act was like the main story, and it was like all the little, like, ghost stories in between while you guys were listening. But and then one of my favorite things is that even though I, like, barely knew you, we were both kind of working on makeup together, and we had an actor who needed, like, white face paint, and I was like, I don't have any, and you're like, I have some. I think I still have the tubes somewhere. There's probably, like, nothing in it, but that's just, like, me being like, oh my gosh, like, we, like, hardly knew each other, but we, like, connected, and then we, like, this literally, like, this one product, like, united us to work together. And then it's kind of like,
crazy because you also knew Michael and someone not to be named, because she's out of here. Anyway, it's a whole other thing. But even then, like, I don't feel like you're as close. Sorry, Michael. You're not as close to Michael as, like, how we are. That makes sense? Even when we met?
No, I feel like it's because, I think it has a lot to do with our backgrounds, though. It's like, say, like, Michael, he's come from, you know, like, his parents weren't necessarily as, like, on top of him growing up as, like, say, like, my mom was. Like, my mom was, like, my mom coddled me growing up. Versus Michael, who's been, like, showcase, like, a lot of movies, a lot of, like, music, you know, he's learned all of this stuff. And my knowledge, like, when I first met Michael, like, my knowledge of a lot of stuff was just, like, you think I knew who James Cameron was when I first met Michael? No, it's probably because of Michael that I'm, like, a lot more oriented towards, like, oh, like, Martin Scorsese, you know, James Cameron, you know, I'm a lot more attentive to those nitty-gritty details behind what we all like, which is, like, the entertainment industry and whatnot, versus us, where we connect on a lot of things, and I think it's just how we were brought up, and I grew up in a household of literally nothing but feminine energy, and so that's what's really, like, shaped how I am as a person, being in touch with my feminine side. And I think just those initial interactions of us, like, me being exceptional at makeup and you helping with makeup and us just working together, and then that just kind of segued from there. Anything that you want to touch on that, like, your thoughts on how we first met and stuff?
Like, I remember and I don't remember, just because I also was developing a friendship with somebody not to be named. Because I remember, too, she would be like, oh, yeah, me Michael and like another person not to be named and Reggie are all close, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how she is. It just, I don't know. She made it seem something different. Like, even as we all continued to be friends, even though the three of us are just the ones actually continuing our friendship, it always felt like she made it seem like, oh no, me and him are closer than you guys are. And then once I started to tell her, like, oh no, we actually have a closer relationship than I think you have with him, she was like, oh, okay. Like, jealous, like, bruh. Like, okay, not to bring up our spat, but our little spat we had, even when that happened, like, you apologized and stuff, and, like, I apologized, she was mad about it.
Oh, my gosh. Like...
And I was like, well, it wasn't between you and him. Yes, you guys had, like, a little bit of, like, a falling out, but, like, there was a deeper thing between us that was happening. Yeah. Like... It hurt both of us. Even Michael was in the middle of it, so like, he knows.
But it's like with this other person, it wasn't as deep as what was going on between us, and so, but there was something that was involved, so I recognized that. And at the time, it was like, okay, we're all, you know, going to look for that growth before we just open our doors, you know, to continue. And we did. We allowed time to process and see if there's been growth. But then I had no idea that was going on. And so at the time, I was really grateful that you were upfront and honest and you're like, I've seen growth. Let's continue.
I mean, not just on you, though. Me, too. I knew I did some things. I probably shouldn't have done some things. I really was influenced by one person, though, too, which didn't help. But, you know, yeah, I think, too, we both just realized we did wrong. And, like, we wanted to, like, what is it? Save our friendship more than, like, just, you know how some people are just like, oh, it's a fight, whatever, leave it.
No.
We were adults about it, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Just makes me, oh my gosh, it just takes me back to some of the times that I've had a falling out here or there with Michael, and then it's like, okay, we got this. Yeah. We're adults. We can do this. Let's talk about it. Let's brush it off.
Oh my God. No, because I keep talking about Friends lately, but we were watching an episode of Friends, me and Jose, and they were all fighting in their apartment. And then they all went to a corner of the room. And I'm like, that's going to be all of us. It's going to be Michael in one corner, you in one corner, I in one corner, Benji in one corner.
I'd want to leave the apartment. I'm like, I'm going to take a walk. Like the walk that I took this morning.
Oh, bruh. My
God. Everything's all good now. Everything's all good. I had an iced coffee.
I gave you your extra 5 to 10 minutes because I needed to finish my hair.
I was like, when Jose texted me and he's like, well, Jessina's finishing with her hair. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Literally, I was like, wait, I can't slow down. Reggie needs some time.
You're like, one curl and another. Okay. But yes, we have truly grown together. Especially like post-pandemic and to now in the fully fledged society that we're in, including the new administration. But all things aside, how do we feel about talking about movies? We both just recently saw Wicked for Good. Do you care to elaborate on how that movie compared to the first one?
Well, I'm indifferent because a lot of people are like, oh, I like the first one better. I like the second one better. I just like both. I feel like you have to watch both.
Yes.
You know, I think I liked the first one a lot because it obviously came out first.
Yeah.
You know, but I know I was crying so hard in For Good, the last song. I was crying throughout the whole movie, but that one came on. I was like, no. I looked at Jose, I started bawling. I'm like, if I turn to see you, Michael, and Benji are going to cry more because I'm watching it with my best friends and my boyfriend. I'm like, I can't do this right now.
I'm just really glad that, even though Michael did look at me a couple times throughout the movie, I'm just really glad that he didn't look at me as often as he usually does during movies, because I would have been like, don't look at me, like, shut up, like, no. Because, yeah, that movie definitely hit my heartstrings. Yeah. I had recently gotten I recently got a perspective from one friend that was like, oh no, like hated the movie. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Like granted, like, you know, give flowers to the actors and the team and everything, but it did not meet what was the equivalent of like the stage show. Like the stage show is so much better.
I heard that. People were mad.
And so and I asked the friend, I was like, okay, do you suggest that I find a bootleg? And I watched that before watching Act 2 or For Good. And they were like, up to you, but since the movie is like fresh and you're more likely to see that before the show, go with that. And then whatever emotions you feel, you feel. And so watching For Good, it's like, and I've personally experienced, you know, getting ready to lose a best friend or a loved one. I've had those moments in my life, especially recently, like, what was it? Last year? I think so, yeah. It was around the same time that Michael was getting his nose job. It wasn't a literal nose job, but it was basically rhinoplasty because he has like a sleeping thing. But anyhow, well, I can't say nose job, and people are like, "Oh my god, he has a fake nose." No, you
can tell if it's fake or not. Okay.
He said. But there was a brief moment in my life where I was like very alone, and it sucked. It was like friends were across the globe. I had like a little falling out with my mom and my sister, and this was around the same time that I was getting ready to do a show, and I wasn't super close with anybody that was in the show. Like I bonded with some people, but I wasn't like super close, or I was like, you know, I can give like deep secrets or anything to. And so I felt very alone. So I have felt close to Glinda, especially when she sings that song, Girl in the Bubble, and she's very alone. Or when she has that realization during No One Mourns the Wicked, it's like the Wicked's lives are lonely and stuff. I resonate with that because it's like people can paint a bad picture of you even though you're not. And you just, because of that, it's like you feel alone. Yeah. And so that whole trajectory of the second movie, I'm just like, damn, like, wow. I personally like the overall, I like the storyline of the second movie because the first one, it's cutesy. It's like, oh, they're young, you know, they're naive. Yeah. But I like the storyline of them in the second one. They're older, even though it's like, I think John M. Chu said it was like literally like a year later. I mean, in the very beginning, like, as the movie's opening and the Universal logo is showing up, you hear Madame Morrible say that it's been about 12 time changes since the events of the first movie. But in the stage production, I think it's about, like, at least 5 years.
That would make more sense?
Yeah. I'm like, but I can understand the fast-paced atmosphere of, you know, making Glinda the good and, you know, getting a move on with the road. But it's just, I personally feel like in Wicked for Good, it if they had adjusted things a little bit more with the storyline to make it seem farther apart than the events of the first movie, just because it's like, okay, like, no, Elphaba's been hiding for a while, not a year, because a year can go like that.
I think I got the impression it was longer from the movie. Like there was a bigger time gap than just a year.
Yeah. That's for what I understand.
Michael's gonna scold us if we drop.
You know what? But I was telling somebody this the other day, and I personally would love to see this happen, but if they hadn't done what they did, it makes sense at the end of For Good. It takes you back to the events of the first movie when she's coming to Munchkinland and whatnot. And they're singing that very first song. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, is it true you were her friend? And then she's like, yes, but I did know her. Our paths crossed in school, and then it like fades away. I want it to be like if they sync both movies together and it's just one long like Endgame or something movie, and then it's like, okay, now restart, and then it's like I would want that, you know.
John and Chu.
We need a director's cut because there's so much stuff that, and you know what's weird is that a lot of the deleted scenes in like the first Wicked and then Wicked for Good, they're actually beneficial to the plot of the film, and it makes sense, you know, why characters are a certain way or something. Like there was a whole backstory scene with Fanny and Shen Shen, Glinda's friends. Yeah, and they're like, oh, do you remember us? And Glinda was like, and they're like, oh, like that party, you know, in our teacher's class in like first grade. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then it's like, oh, so that's why they're like obsessed with her. That's why, you know, they're her friends.
I'm just mad they don't have the one that was in For Good where they have that poster of Ariana Grande in that costume.
Yes.
That really cute costume. And they're like, oh, it's not even in there. You made a whole costume, took a picture of it, and plastered it everywhere. Yeah. And you don't keep the scene.
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
John M. Chu, what is happening?
There was an entire, like dozens of children. You know, it's like this whole, like, segment of, like, part of a montage of one of the first songs in the movie. And then it's literally the promotional material. It's the trailers. It's the posters. It's all the advertisements.
Yeah, it was in the trailers.
But it's not there. And you know what's funny is that when Wicked did a collaboration with Dress to Impress on Roblox, that is one of the gowns. And a lot of people that, like, make costumes or cosplays, when the trailers and the pictures started being posted, they're like, oh, let me make that gown because it's pink and green. And it's like, oh, wait, it's not in the movie. Then it's like, girl, what are we doing here? John M. Chu, director's cut. When? Hopefully before it comes to streaming. That would be nice.
That, I would sit through it.
Before or after they do a sing-along version of For Good.
Oh my god.
But speaking of Wicked, Bowen Yang, who plays Fanny in the movie, word is getting around that he's leaving SNL.
That will be sad.
Oh
he's so
my god.
Funny.
He is hilarious, and he is such an like one of my favorite skits is him and a group of friends. Charlie XCX is the host for the episode. I think she was host and musical guest. Yeah. But it was a skit about them leaving like the Shrek musical, and Charlie XCX comes out and her face is green. And she's like, hey guys, I just came back from talking to the actor who played Shrek. And it's like, oh. And then Bowen's like, you know what? Like something had happened. Yeah. And he's like, oh, like let me go in there and talk to him because I don't agree with this. And then he comes out and his face is green. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then there was this skit that he did with Pedro Pascal. Yeah. And they're at the dining table at a restaurant. And oh my gosh, I don't know the actress's name, but the black actress who's cutting up her steak at the table.
I love that skit.
They like Pedro is because there's people under the table making it shake. It's so funny. And Pedro is
like, can I get some ketchup?
Can I get some ketchup on this? And she's like, girl, just eat the damn steak. And she's like, you want me to eat this dry ass steak? No, and then the waiter comes over and he's like, we've been getting some complaints, and she's like, what, is it because black?
Pedro just broke.
Bowen Yang is like, because I think he had the next line and the camera's like, on him, and he just lost it. Like, that's how you know they were in it. But
I like that one, or I like the one he did where Ariana Grande was playing her mom.
Oh yeah, and then she calls him a Oh my gosh. So funny.
Oh my god, wait, have you seen the one where they're doing the lie detector test?
Yes.
And then she's like, am I a good kisser?
Am I a good kisser?
And he's just like...
And she's like, relax, guys. He's gay. Because he was like, I don't know.
Like, can't detect if it's like true or false.
It's like, I forget what the middle response is, because there's truthful, there's untruthful, and then there's like indecisive or something.
I'm like, I saw them, like that was literally, that could be us. That's like an us thing. I swear.
No, oh my gosh. I can't imagine what the cast is going to be like without Bowen Yang. And the fact that he was juggling both SNL and filming Wicked at the same time. Like, they don't do that ever.
Well, Ariana Grande recently was saying she called.
Yeah.
She was like, I called this person, like, also saying, like, she wouldn't be in it if he wasn't in it. That's a lot. They were already struggling to pick a Galinda anyway. Before, you know what I mean? Like, what?
I'm like, I'm listening.
Well,
you know,
I mean, she wasn't the first choice. You know.
Who would have been the first choice?
No, they had like a list of people.
Well, like auditions,
yeah.
But like,
she wasn't their first choice anyways because they were.
No, she had to prove herself.
Yeah,
she said that
they were nervous because they're like, oh well, she's Ariana Grande, she's a pop star, and like even now people are like, oh, it should have been Dove Cameron, it should have been. I heard Amanda Seyfried and I was like, oh hell, I love her, but like, I can't see her as Galinda.
Well, and I think it's also because they needed people who were approximately around the same age if they were older, but could also pass for younger too, depending on how big. Like, oh my God, Cynthia Erivo, like she's like what, like 40s?
Oh, what?
Yeah, she's like almost a decade older than Ariana Grande. And they were like, I remember this one person specifically was like, oh, I had doubts about Cynthia Erivo playing Elphaba because Elphaba in Act 1 is supposed to be young, youthful, naive. And then in Act 2, she's older, much more mature. And a lot of that had to do with the makeup, how you're trained to sing and stuff. Yeah. And so, like, she sings in a much higher register when she's younger versus those much more mature, lower notes in the second movie. And one of my favorite, and there's a lot of parallels in For Good versus the first one. Like when she's like, when I meet the wizard, and then she's like, when I stop the wizard, the difference in that, I was like, wow. And then them making her like much more darker, more, like in tune.
I think I saw you reposted about her braids. At least how even that was so detailed. Yeah,
those braiders, and somebody was like, "Oh, we're glad she's bald because it looks like it's truly growing out of her scalp," which is like, but then it's like versus Ariana Grande, who naturally has dark hair, and in order to make the wigs blend, it's just easier to dye your hair underneath so that there's kind of a difference. Yeah, so it all blends together.
I think people are mad about the strip lashes.
I
was like, that's so Galinda, though.
It is. It's definitely Galinda. Oh my gosh. I love, because you can tell that Cynthia has, I think, like individuals on for Good, but there's close-up shots of her, and those, just her eyes, she looks gorgeous. And it's the little details, too, with the shading and whatnot, with the makeup. But, oh my gosh, so good. Since we're still on that Wicked kick, Jonathan Bailey and Ariana Grande rumored to do West End Sunday in the Park with George.
I will flip out, guys. I will flip out if that. I will need to go. Sorry, I need to go and see it. Because obviously they're going to be the main people.
Well, yes, of course.
No, I can't even elaborate.
We have a Bestie group chat that Michael's in, and the moment Jesstina posted about it, and he's like, I'm still recovering from London. Oh, wait, it's going to be like a year from now. I should be good.
I didn't know it was going to...
Like, 2027, I think, yeah.
I didn't read that part.
She just saw it, and she's like...
We're going. That's it.
Well, obviously. That'll be the next time we go to London. I know Michael wants to go to London sooner, but... We're watching you. We're watching you. We're always watching Mike Wazowski.
No, but I was in that musical like about a year ago, and I just to actually see it, but to go and like actually see it would be something a lot different because I did it in a college setting. It wasn't like... It
was cute, though. It was cute. It was very, like, minimalist, but, oh, man. For a lot of you that don't know, could you elaborate on what Sunday in the Park with George is?
So it's about a painting. I forget the painter's name. And I did art history for classes, and Anyway, it's a famous painting. They actually have it in Chicago. And it's of people in a park. And the whole... musical is about everybody in the painting and like kind of how he draws each person. I played the woman that was like in the middle holding her child's hand with the little umbrella.
Yeah. One of my favorite, what I really liked while I was watching the musical was as the portrait continues to be built upon is you guys matching the silhouettes and the poses that are in the painting, and so it really like brings to life like what inspired or what went behind, you know, this painting occurring. And then to have, there's a flash forward sequence towards the end of the musical, and it's in the 80s. And it's so fun, the painting is like in an art gallery. People are talking about it and stuff.
I'm the art critic.
And it was just really like, it's like the costuming and everything to really like enhance and tell the audience what era this is taking. I think it's 1800s.
Yes.
Around that time, yeah. Like 1800s is when the painting is being done. Flash forward to the 1980s of when the portrait is being shown in a gallery, and it's like this big like gallery party. I forget what they call those, but there's like refreshments and stuff.
Pretty sure it was just called a gallery party.
But it's like a ceremony, like an opening ceremony for the gallery or something.
An art opening. Oh my god.
An exhibition. But I was just really in awe of, and I was not personally a part of the show, but to sit in the audience from the audience perspective and see how you guys literally flipped the switch. Impressive from 1800s to 1980s.
It was an awful change because the first time we did the dress rehearsal, I changed late and didn't go out with shoes or a blazer. So I have pictures when the photographer went in to do it. No blazer, no shoes. And I was like, oop.
That's like when we did the Trouble in Tahiti and I didn't have a wig for that one dance that we had to do. And so it's like bald cap.
Yeah. Or me taking somebody's spot because they had a little family thing. And I was like, ugh.
Real quick, as we're wrapping up, I know you wanted to touch on Friends, and you insist that our friend Michael is like Ross. What is up with that? Care to elaborate?
It's not just me that thinks it. Jose thinks Michael is so Ross-coded. And it's not because what happens between him and Rachel. Oh. It's just Ross as a person.
What's his personality like? Like, who is Ross as a person?
Awkward.
Awkward? Socially awkward? Or just awkward, like, in general?
I don't know how to describe it. Like, if you watch the show, I'm like, that's so Michael. I see you guys, okay?
Our producers are being very rude to us. They're pressuring us to end. This is the Bestie special. You're lucky you're getting a little over a half hour with us. Just the two of us, by the way. We're usually with, other people.
I mean, I didn't say you're Phoebe coded, but Jose did.
It
was just because this one episode where she hooks up with the scientist guy, and she's like, throw me on the table. And Jose's like, yeah, that's so Reggie coded. I was like, what?
Whoa.
Because he figures you would ask a guy to be like, throw me on the table.
I don't know.
But then we say Benji is so Joey coded, but if you know Joey and you know Benji,
the two would go together.
Accurate, right? Or no?
I don't know, because when you talk about throw me on the table, it just makes me think about, like, the friendship that I have with Benji, and I feel like that would be a funny, like, gimmick, is like, oh, like, you know, throw me on the table, Benji. Benji's funny like that. If you know Benji has a really good sense of humor.
How Joey is in Friends, that's how Benji is.
Okay. And, like, how would you describe Joey's personality?
Like, funny, outgoing.
The romantic type?
No. Yes and no. But you know the jokes Benji makes?
Yes.
That Joey's the same exact way.
Okay.
What was funny, though, is I told Jose he is Chandler because they had an episode where it was also with the Phoebe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, oh, they thought you were gay. And I tell Jose that sometimes, like, please don't be gay. There's some things you do, I'm like, please don't be gay.
He's in the closet.
No, because in the episode, they thought Chandler was gay just because he does more than what a straight man would do, or, like...
Mm-hmm. He's in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like...
He's not afraid to be a little effeminate.
I was like, Jose, that's kind of... you sometimes. Which is okay. I don't...
Not Jose being sus.
He's not really, actually. It's just a joke, but, like...
Oh. He's committing to the bit. He's doing a bit.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you keep him on that leash and you're like, if you're in the closet, don't come out.
I mean,
oh my God.
There's lavender marriages, so...
Lavender marriage. Oh my gosh. For anybody watching out there... Or I was gonna say, like, if Michael or Benji don't get into a relationship.
Oh, you said this
when we're
before.
older. If Benji or Michael don't get into a relationship, hey, lavender marriage. I mean, hey.
Love is love, guys.
Love is love. But hey, when we're older, I don't know. It has truly been an honor getting to do this Bestie episode with you. Yeah. Thank you so much for spending the time to discuss all the things that we love and like and elaborating on stuff.
This is like a snippet, guys.
This is a snippet into our lives. Like, the fact that we even took a chance and a moment to touch on how we met and that stuff.
That's like not even half of what happened.
You guys are skimming the surface of our friendship. Keep in mind. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Bestie special with Reginald and Jesstina. Please like and subscribe and all those other good things. Be sure to keep a lookout for other future episodes. And if you're watching these out of order, feel free to check out our Halloween special or our Christmas special and other guest special episodes that we have. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and we will see you on our next episode of Singers, Nerds, and Homies. Bye!